In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about verifying public domain status, and then we're going to cover some places you can go to find good public domain content. Material created on January 1st, 1978 or after is automatically protected by copyright until 70 years after the author or creator of that work has passed away. So keep in mind that anything that would be, obviously more recently that has come out, any piece of work, which could be, even video or movies, actual written reports, written books, anything like that that's been created on January 1st, 1978 or after is automatically protected by copyright, and that will extend out 70 years after the author has passed away. So it's quite a bit of time there. All material created and published prior to 1923 is within the public domain automatically, though. So you may be thinking, though, well, a lot of that is old content that may not be useful for me. And again, this is kind of a rule of thumb too, because there are, as we mentioned in one of the previous videos, there are many different works that actually go directly into the public domain. So there's a lot of written reports, materials, statistics, books, and other information, through sources like the government and things that actually gives you good private or public domain information, good public domain content that you can use that's more current and more fresh. But it's all going to be kind of a case-by-case basis, but this is a good rule of thumb. But you would be surprised how much great information there is dating back even clear to 1923 and earlier. There's a lot of very good information on different topics like even health, healing, different things like that could actually be turned into possible reports because back then a lot of people looked at natural healing options, or you could spin things like there's different ways to lose weight, there's different ways to fitness, different ways to relationships, all that stuff that doesn't die, basically, that keeps going, like relationships, for example. Those have been going back since time started, and so basically you could find similar information in relationship guides dating back to 1923 or before. So don't rule out because the material's old that it can't be useful. You would actually be surprised. There's even dog training books, which dog training is a huge niche. Excellent dog training ebooks books from prior to 1923 that were published and are excellent, provide great value. So these are just a few other places you can go to look at verifying your public domain status. A few little rules of thumb. And then keep in mind that material created from 1923 through 1963, it might be protected by copyright if it is renewed, if it was renewed during that time. If not, it is in the public domain. So if it was not renewed, the copyright, then it is still in the public domain, actually. So 1923 to 1963, that spans 40 years, and it's amazing how many people that created work that did not copyright it. So now you've got material as early as even 1963 that you could potentially turn to and start using for public domain purposes, using as public domain. And so, you certainly may want to consider consulting with an attorney to make sure that you are accessing, a true public domain product that you can use so that you do not get into any trouble. So now that you know kind of the rules of thumb for looking for public domain content, how would you go about finding quality public domain content that you can start using? One option, as I mentioned, is you could hire an attorney when you find the content, but this can be quite expensive. So you could send out an attorney to help you look for this information, or you could come up with the information, like find the information using the guidelines we previously talked about, and then bring the content before an attorney and have them do the proper researches and check to make sure that you can still use a particular product, and so you can see if it is in the public domain. You can also do this work yourself, but it does take time and effort, but it doesn't cost any money. So even though it costs you a little bit of time and effort, it doesn't cost you any out-of-pocket money. So it could be more appealing, and it's something that more people would probably do, especially when they're starting out. You could browse the Copyright Office at the following URL. That is www.loc.gov/copyright/search. And you can search for the name of a of a book. You could search for the title of a book. You could search for a name of an author. You could search sometimes by just different search criteria to see if a book is actually copyrighted. Another one that you can use is upenn.edu, which is through the University of Pennsylvania, and that screen is digital, or that page is www.digital.upenn.edu/books/CCE. And that one, along with the Copyright Office, will actually give you a fabulous give you information that you are seeking to see if a public domain or a work that you are interested in using is actually copyrighted. And if you find that it is not copyrighted using some of these methods, then you could proceed with moving forward with creating something around that. Another one to look at for quality public domain content is called the Gutenberg Project. It is by far the best resource for finding and downloading public domain content on and through their website. They have a lot of books that they have turned into, ebook, text-based books where you can actually just take them, download them as a text file, and then you can work the content however you want there, and then convert it to a PDF as your very own once you've edited and make a few changes. And then you could actually take the content and start using it for articles. And Gutenberg Project can be found at Gutenberg, gutenberg.wiki/main_page, and that will take you to the Gutenberg homepage. You can also do gutenberg.org. Basically, this again gives you many different options for search, including the most popular 100 downloads that people have made through the Gutenberg Project. It gives you an idea of recent downloads, and it also has a search utility to explore the specific niches. So you could look for everything from needlework to weight loss to fitness, and it will help you narrow down and find ebooks and books and information that could possibly be in the public domain, books and information that typically are in the public domain that you could start using. And it really gives you an idea as far as the most popular 100 downloads go, because that kind of tells you kind of what the niche is interested in, what people are finding appealing in these older guides and information, and you could use that to your advantage. You should refer to the Gutenberg Project website often, and so that's a very, very important point. And the Gutenberg Project is very, very huge. So we're actually going to stop this video and then move on in the next video talking more about how to find quality public domain content and give you a few more places that you can go to find some great public domain content that you can start profiting from.